officials here present, good morning, delegates from all over the country who have come to be a part of this great event. Like Mr. Young said earlier on, yesterday was amazing. Today promises to be even more amazing. And then tomorrow we are going to wrap up with a grand finale and a grand closure for what we've been doing in the last 3 days. This, once again, is the second National MSME Conference, which is brought to you courtesy of the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, with the support of development partners, international development partners like the European Union, the German Development Organization, the GIZ, and a whole lot other local partners like, of course, UBA. They were here yesterday. The Deputy Managing Director, like Mr. Young told you, MasterCard is also a great supporter of this conference. Moneypoint, Wema Bank, Nexim Bank, of course, you heard Mr. Young introduce the Managing Director earlier on, Mr. Abba Bello, who has been doing an amazing work since he got into that position. A scion of an illustrious family who has himself also carved a niche for himself in professional management and the financial sector. Mr. Abba Bello, we thank you so very much, and you are very welcome. Also here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is the Executive Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Ms. Noye Ayeni. You're very welcome, ma'am. We greet you, we thank you, and we welcome you for being here. Once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, every single one of you is appreciated. Every single one of you is honored. We cannot, of course, mention the name of everybody in this hall, but please note that the fact that we are mentioning some people does not mean that they are more appreciated than you are. Every one of you is appreciated, every one of you is respected, every one of you is very welcome, and we greet you. Another thing I would like to point out is the beautiful synergy amongst the business support organizations and agencies of the federal government. It is admirable to see that SMEDAN is having an event. Nexim is here in full support. NEPC is also here in full support. We had Standards Organization of Nigeria. We've had the Corporate Affairs Commission. We've had several other such agencies of government who have come together to make life easier for the SME sector in Nigeria. I would like to commend them for that spirit of cooperation among them, because of course, it is cooperation and collaboration that will make us to make progress, and not competition, most times needless competition, unnecessary competition, and scheming to scheme each other out, because together we all achieve more than if we decide to go in silos. So even as we hold the National MSME Conference, the message from our leaders that we should take back is that even as businesses, you will benefit from collaboration and cooperation than you will benefit from competition. Find the people in your industry are competitors with you, but you'll be very surprised what you can achieve if you collaborate with each other. So you mustn't be Okeke and Sons, you mustn't be Tunde and Company, you mustn't be Abdallah and family. You can also be Okeke and Ayeni. You can be Abdullahi and Ismaila or something. And if you find that you cannot go it alone, nothing stops you from talking to your brother who is doing the same thing, so that you guys can collaborate and be able to scale your business. Nigeria has so many individual enterprises, but they do not have great companies on the stock exchange and transgenerationally sustainable companies, because most times the expertise and the knowledge of how to run that business fades away with the people that founded the business. So our dear MSMEs, as you gather for this conference, as you are here today, begin to think of the sustainability of your enterprise. Begin to think of the longevity of your enterprise. Begin to think how whatever business you are doing today can outlive you and stay long before you are gone. So that 100 years from now, 50 years from now, we can still be remembering your organization because you had a sustainability plan and you had people that helped you to continue to run that business even when you retired. I was thanking our sponsors earlier on. I had mentioned Nexim Bank. Permit me to also thank Premium Trust Bank for their support. The United Nations Development Program, of course, has been a preeminent supporter of development activities here in Nigeria. The Bank of Industry has also been very supportive. Yesterday, almost throughout the day, we have Mr. Wahid Olagunju, the former managing director of that organization, here with us. Providus Bank has been amazing. Their people were here with us yesterday. The 715 Foundation, we celebrate you and we thank you. Microvis Microfinance Bank, thank you for all you do. Yesterday, towards the end, we had a session from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. It was more like a clinic. A representative of the FIRS was standing here on this podium and he was taking questions from MSMEs on the challenges that they had. And it was a question and answer session. I've seen evidence that the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Custom Services is going to be here with us shortly. For those of you who do importation, exportation, you might want to keep your questions that you want to ask. Of course, once again, Ms. Noye Ayeni is also here, Executive Director, CEO of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. We've all been talking about export, export, export. You need to know how you will do the export. You need to know what the rules are, what the regulations are, what are the acceptable standards, what are the grades, what are the things you need to do to preserve and package your product, to make it fit for international consumption, to make it fit for export. What are the things that you can add to your products that will be banned when you take them abroad? What are the acceptable standards of preservation? What are the chemicals that you can and cannot use? These are things that are very important to you even as you grow your MSME. If you're in the agricultural sector, you're in the production sector, any sector you are in, there are rules and regulations guiding local consumption, guiding international export, and you need to know all of these things. Excuse me. So the Executive Director, CEO of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council is here, Noye Ayeni, and I'm sure she didn't come alone. I'm sure she came with other members of her team. Today is going to be packed. If you have questions, if you have concerns, whatever question you want answered, they will be here to answer you. Of course, Keystone Bank is also a supporter and a sponsor of this event. So today, like Mr. Ebere Young said earlier on, we're going to continue with our panels. Yesterday, the panel was very instructive, very educative, and we learned a lot. The Honorable Minister, of course, of Industry, Trade and Investment was here. She spoke a lot about business support activities, opportunities that exist within the federal government to support businesses, and of course, how you can access those opportunities and those support platforms. I learned a lot from that panel. So if you came all the way from different places for this National MSME Conference, then it is only proper that you immerse yourself into everything that is happening. Every session, take it, learn from it, take copious notes, and note everything that is being said. Let it be that when you go back, you went back with something. Like Mr. Ebere Young told you earlier on, today we'll be continuing with different other panels, creating an enabling environment for a vibrant MSME sector, and a few organizations are going to talk to us. We'll hear from the Corporate Affairs Commission about how to register your businesses, the difference between limited company limited by, and business name registration, and all the other categories. Of course, empowering agriculture through innovation and green financing. Let's also recall that yesterday we had a presentation from the Executive Vice Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of the Naseni, Khalil Suleiman Halilu, who showed us a demo for what they call the NAS box, which was like a cinematic box where content is brought to you. And then he told us of the opportunities. It even works without internet. It works, all you have to do is subscribe and you will get that. Amazing. Today we also have with us, and we are glad to have him here, Mr. Shafiu Adamu Yauri. He's a lawyer, and in fact is my distinguished brother MNI. Please, may we have Mr. Shafiu Adamu Yauri wave to the audience so that we can see you, so we can recognize you. MNI, please come to the front, sir. You are a national, please let's guide him to, let's put our hands together for him, please. Thank you. Please, let's put our hands together for him. He's a member of the National Institute, and wherever we see ourselves, we have a brotherly greeting. You people accuse us of being in a cult. We're not in any cult. It is national service. He's a registrar of trademarks at the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. And if you have your brochure with you, you will see that he's supposed to be on one of the panels that we have for you. So again, the SMEDAN has gone to great lengths to bring in all of these people so that they can answer your various questions. Remember, once again, it is the National MSME Conference, and that means that you have the opportunity to ask any question you want to ask and have your doubts clarified. We are going to take an address from GIZ at some point, who will tell us 50 years of Germany's contribution to MSME growth in Nigeria. They will tell us everything that they have been doing to support the growth of MSME in Nigeria. GIZ, of course, is the German development organization, and they've been doing a lot in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, yesterday, they were presented with an award as the most supportive international development organization for MSMEs in Nigeria. And we have yet another panel on taking Nigeria global, export strategies for MSMEs ready to scale. And one of the speakers on that panel, Ms. Noye Ayeni, is already here seated. Again, she's the Executive Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. On that panel, you will also be having the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Mr. Bashir Adeniyi Adewale, MFR. He's a public communicator and he's a CG of Customs. If you look, you'll see that his advanced team are already here. That tells you that the CG will also be on that panel. Also on that panel, we are going to have Toby Moody, the Director of the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, and trade experts from the African Continental Free Trade Area, Managing Director, Nigerian Ports Authority, and of course, Mr. Abba Bello, Managing Director of Nexim Bank, who has also been with us since yesterday. He spent his whole day yesterday here with us, and you know, it is not easy for the Chief Executive of a federal parastatal to spend his entire day with you. He did not go to the office. He resumed here and he closed here. He didn't leave at any point in time. We are, my boss, Mr. Ebere Young, and I were having a conversation earlier to plan the day, and we are very mindful, of course, of the religious leanings of all our participants, and we've made arrangements to ensure that we create time for the Muslims among us to observe their Jumaat prayer when it is time. So as we go along with the program, we will ensure that we accommodate time for our Muslim participants to go and observe their Jumaat prayers. I'm sure arrangements are in place to ensure that you use the State House Mosque for your prayer. That way, you don't have to go too far. You can observe your prayer and rejoin us, and we'll make sure that you do not miss anything by reason of your going to pray. So, Mr. Abba, thank you very much for being with us throughout yesterday and even today. You are here early. Mr. Yeni, thank you very much for being with us. The Registrar of Trademarks, Mr. Yauri, Distinguished Yauri, thank you so very much. At some point, we're going to have the signing of an MOU between the Enterprise Development Center, EDC, and Smeden. That will happen at some point. You will get details of the MOU and what it entails when they come to do the signing. We have a few master classes which will be held in some rooms around this place. So not everything will happen here at plenary. So you need to know that if you, at any point in time, step outside, to your right, you will have a room that is called B0.26. B0.26. There, you'll be having different master classes. We have a master class on legal, regulatory compliance, and risk management. If you are interested in that, B026, when it's time, we will notify you, you will head there. We will also have a master class on starting with 0 naira. How to start a business with 0 naira. Excuse me. Oftentimes, people complain that the challenge they have with starting a business is lack of capital, but it may not always be true. If you have the capital and you do not have the prerequisite training and foundation on how to build your wealth and scale your business, you might get into trouble. GIZ is also organizing a breakout session on structured support for digital transformation of MSMEs. Dear MSME, your smartphone is not just for you to take pictures and get on TikTok and Twitter and Facebook and the rest of them. Your smartphone is a veritable tool for business growth and development. Digital services. We live in a digital world. We live in a content world, so to speak. So you can use your phone to grow your business, and you can use other digital tools to grow your business. So we have a breakout session that will discuss that, sponsored by GIZ, Structured Support for the Digital Transformation of MSMEs, so that you cannot afford in this day and age to say, no, I don't do Facebook. No, I'm not online. No, I don't do. No. If you don't do, let your business do. If you don't want to do, let your business do. No problem. You are a private person. We agree. Stay out of it, but make sure your business is online. We have yet another breakout session by GIZ on certification and registration, a chance or challenge for MSME growth. There are certain certifications, standardizations that your business or your product require. They will help the business to grow. They will help the product to gain acceptability. What are those certifications? What are those standardizations? There are NIS standards, of course, different ones, which you need to have on your product before you can either export or before it can be accepted in certain circles. The customs, of course, have their own certifications and things that you need to have on your product. You are going to be learning all about those. And of course, once again, the Registrar of Trademarks is here with us. He will tell you how to register your invention, your product, how to patent your intellectual property and make sure it is protected, so that it's not that you have an idea and you see somebody else doing it and you accuse the person of stealing your idea. Nobody steals idea. Ideas are given to everybody at the same time. It is a person that implements that owns the product. You have been dreaming of that idea and you refuse to implement. A dream not implemented becomes a nightmare, because you will just see somebody else implementing the same thing. I remember my very dear friend, now late, he kept telling me that this spot would be fantastic to have. He moved into Lugbe a while ago in an estate, and he says there is nowhere that he has to go to town to buy bread. So that he's going to open a bakery just at the junction so that those coming back from work can stop and buy bread to use for tea with them and their family in the morning. Every day I come and visit him, as we are leaving, he will remind me that he will open a bakery at this spot. One day we were passing and we saw that somebody had opened a bakery at that exact same spot. And he said, now only me and you talk this thing. I said, well, it's not me that opened it. It's not my own. So it couldn't have been me. So what that tells you is that for every idea that you get, you are not the only one that get the idea. God liberally distributes ideas. It is whoever goes to start the implementation that is the first mover. Abi, it's called first mover's advantage. You are the first mover. Every other person that tries to do it is copying you. So go and protect your idea. Go and register your trademark. If you think you have patented something, you think you have invented something, the registrar of trademarks is here, Alhaji Yauri, distinguished. He will talk to us and we will learn about that. We have yet another panel, From Passion to Profit, Navigating the Business of Creativity Across Multiple Sectors. And that is one that I believe a few of our young people will look forward to seeing, because on that panel we have Osas Ihodaro, a popular actress, for those of you that take out time to watch movies, which you should, of course. You should not, your timetable should not be hustle, hustle, hustle. Please, for your own strength and longevity, make sure you take out time to get some entertainment. Go see a movie or watch it in the comfort of your bedroom or something. Please, that we said you should be an entrepreneur does not mean that it should be a morning to night affair every day. No. Please make out time to get some entertainment. And that is why we have this breakout session, this panel session, From Passion to Profit, Navigating the Business of Creativity Across Multiple Sectors. This session will help you learn how creativity can be multiplied and even monetized across sector. Like I said, we're in the age of content. Whatever you are doing, you'll be very shocked that you could create content out of there. So, Osas Ihodaro will be with us. She's an actress. I'm sure a lot of people know her. And Timini Eguson will also be here with us this afternoon. I see some ladies smiling. It's okay, I understand. He's a sweetheart. Timini Eguson will also be here with us. He's an actor, and he will be here to talk to us. Wande Thomas is a movie director. Rayan Alabi is also a director of photography in the cinematic industry. And to moderate that session, we'll be having Japhet Omojua. We have yet another masterclass, Optimizing Your Business Strategy Using AI to Power Your Marketing Strategies. That will be delivered by Google. They've been with us. They are partners to this conference. They were setting up yesterday. So you might want to, everybody is saying AI, AI, AI. This is your opportunity to understand what AI means, artificial intelligence, of course, how it affects you and how it affects your business, and how you can parlay or leverage AI into the business that you do. We are having a pitch session, and a few people are going to win a few millions before leaving this conference. So some of you came to this conference maybe with your last card. A few people are going to go home with millions before this conference is over. So we're going to have the finalists of our pitch session. Yet another masterclass. This event is packed full. Let's put our hands together for Smedan, please, for their thought process. This is like a private sector driven affair, because they want to impart value. They want you to get value for coming all the way to be a part of this event. They have yet another masterclass, which is titled Building Competitive Advantage Strategies for Small Businesses. What you need to do, the extra edge, your unique selling point that will make a buyer walk across from your competitor and come to you. My barber is about 30 minutes away from where I live. And if you know men and their relationship with their barbers, men are very faithful to their barbers. We don't cheat on our barbers. We keep our hair and our beard until when we can get to our barber. We are very faithful to our barbers. Don't ask me where we are not faithful. I can't answer you. But our barbers, we are very committed. We are in a committed relationship with our barbers. No cheating. We don't cheat. So why would I leave my house in Gozape and drive all the way to Wuse 2 by 12 midnight to go and barb and come back, taking all that risk, burning all that fuel? Perhaps I burn more fuel going to barb than the price I even pay for the haircut that I'm receiving. Number one, it's convenient. They are open 24 hours. So that means I can finish my entire activity for the day, and before I go home, I go and get a haircut. Number two, there is a barber that is nice to me when I come in. I have my own personal barber, and he smiles and he massages my head and I fall asleep. That massage may just be the extra selling point that makes me go back there, because that 30 minutes is on my head. I don't know what is happening. It is when he finishes that he taps me to say he is done. Oga, come and pay and be going. It's very helpful, that 30 minutes of head massage. So you are also a barber. You don't, 7 o'clock you have closed. It's not convenient. People are still at work. You know they do head massage. So you have to learn the competitive edge. What will make people leave your competitor and come to you? These are critical business skills that you need to have. Then yet another presentation by GIZ, Digital Skills for Entrepreneurs, curriculum presentation. We talked about digital skills earlier on. So we'll keep talking about that. And of course, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow the conference will come to an end. Tomorrow is still another packed day, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. So please, once again, welcome. Sit back, relax, enjoy the day. I assure you that in a very short while, Uncle Lebere will come and kickstart this event. Welcome once again. Please put your hands together for yourselves. Thank you very much.